All right, shalom, shalom. Like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching the truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, it's title y'all coming back from the UTC144K camp out in Boston. You know, and I'm just going to get right into it. Uh, you see the current situation, right? This day, I think it's close to 40. All right, with the GOV shutdown happening and all types of moving pieces moving around in the background. All right, legislations and so on and so forth. But you know, coming up to the end of the year, this might be it, man, for Babylon the Great, right? And just like the elder apostles of Great Millstone have been pushing and teaching like men like them, okay, to come out here on the highways and byways and cast down this place. All right. And it's a joyous event that's getting ready to happen. All right. And the scriptures say that, okay, that Israel is going to be overjoyful. All right. The elect of the nation of Israel. While you still have these Israelites that's out here pushing false doctrines and still worshiping Cesare Borgia, which is Christianity or plantation Christianity. They're getting nowhere fast. Okay. And it's about to be the downfall of this kingdom. All right. So let me just grab this real quick. Go straight to Jeremiah 28. It's Jeremiah 28 and 7. It says, nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evils and pestilence. Okay, so that's what we out here to do, bring down this place. All right, and in doing so, we stick to news articles and we bring it straight out of the scriptures, man. Whatever's going on. All right, uh, right now, I'm gonna talk about our people for a brief second. You know, and I was watching that brother on Gabar's video about the end of the world is here, and where you niggas at, man? Okay, meaning the people that's in the know, all right, and that's even a prophecy, But, let's get this real quick. Just when you think you're gonna have a Satan-free day, here you come. It says, therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. Right? And that's why it's going to be a small remnant. All right. That's going to get delivered up out of this place. Okay. If you don't if you don't do the labor that the Lord set forth in front of you, then you're at greater risk of being how do you say evaporated in this kingdom. for better words. Okay, you're not trying to get out of here. You're trying to stay here, and you're playing the game with the Lord's prophecy. So it's about to get ugly out here, man. Okay, and people that's not in the know, well, deaf to them. Okay, I'm talking about these other nations, but we're out here on the highway and the byways and try to fish the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, so all this work to be done, there's nobody doing it. Okay, it's simple. You know, the Lord's pouring out His Spirit upon men, and then you are to come here and bring it out. Go in the highways and the byways, or the chief places of concourse. Okay, like you see me standing down here downtown. This is a little busy section, not busier than the commons, but still, all manner of nations still come by here, like it was prescribed in the scriptures. Right? It says this. Joel 2:1. Bring this one out. Trying to think at the same time here with all this commotion. It says Joel 2:1. It says, "Blow you the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand." Right, and we know that to be true because what? What are we seeing? We're seeing all manner of earthquakes. Wickedness is at an all-time high here in Babylon the Great. All right, and then you also got the destruction of the earth itself, man. Okay, you got all manner of abominations just walking around, man. Okay, you know what I mean when I say abominations. All right, the happy people. Okay, the zesty ones running rampant. This whole government is ran by zesty people, man. Okay, that's why this shit is falling apart too. Not only because the thief that stole us got us in his possession, which is Esau or Edom, all right, but because of all the manner of wickedness that this man is doing here, all right, and it's not going to change, all right. The only one that can change that is Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, man, okay, and he's on his way, all right. You got this situation popping off up there in the heavens, all right, with the three-eyed Atlas. You know, we don't know what it is, but Esau be playing Project Bluebeam, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Awashai, I don't think that's it, man. I think it's the coming, all right, of what's been talked about for so long, man. All right. And that's just me speaking as a man. And if it is, the water Yahweh Shemi Awashai, man, okay, we don't have a doubting spirit here in this place because we know where we at. We're in the shallow of the valley of death, man. It's about to go get nasty out here, man. The Edomites think that it's cool, but they world's getting ready to be snatched right from underneath their feet, man. They gonna bust their head on their way down. Okay? I don't like when white women smile at me, man. It reminds me of a dog that's getting ready to bite. You know? But going on, this place has to be prophesied against, like I read. All right. And there's a lot of prophecies that's coming to pass, man. This thing is for play, no more. Or it never was. All right. To you people that joined and thought that it was going to be something that was going to be just like it was when you was in the Christian church. It's not. It's way past that on a whole nother level. right? What we possess, the knowledge that we possess from the scriptures is earth turning, okay, due to the prophecies, right? And now the apostles are saying that it is a mysterious whistleblower here, all right, called AI, all right. He's helping us out, man. Okay, by getting to the nitty gritty, quick, fast, in a hurry, man. Okay, let's see. This is Revelation 11 and 13. I mean 3 and 13 to 13. It says, "And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, gold and sackcloth." Okay, these are the two olive trees and the two candles that's standing before the power of the earth. All right, the God of the earth, and rightfully so. All right, that's what our job is. Wisdom of Solomon, the fifth chapter. All right, I might let me go there real quick. Get ready to bring. All right, and that's what these two witnesses will be doing right now. Okay, because wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1, it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for." Right? So these witnesses that's prophesying the downfall of this fucking kingdom, okay, this wicked ass kingdom, they're gonna be redeemed, uh, all right, by these chariots that's coming. Okay, simple and plain, man. All right, you know, it's count the scriptures, and I might grab two or three to speak about it. But no other nation has salvation coming to them, man. Nobody but the nation of Israel. Okay, that's the only people that need salvation on this side. Okay, but we've the downtrodden, right? 18 captivities. This is the last one, you know, and we've been stripped of everything. All right, just like the prophecy said that we was going to be stripped of everything, right? But you can't say that to the modern day Jewish people over there, okay? The JOOs, the tiny hatters, okay? So saying all that, you know, these people are on their way from having their kingdom stolen away from them. And we can't wait, man. It's not even going to be stolen. It's going to be beaten from them. Okay, put it like that. All right, but they ain't going to give up the throne so easily. All right, and everything this man does, he does on the pseudo side. Okay, the Israelites are going to be granted everlasting life. What is he trying to do? He's trying to figure out a way to splice some type of genes or something like that, and you know, get his birthright back that way. But the birthright ain't coming back to Esau. All right, never come back to him. That's why this place is in shambles like it is. All right, he was only programmed to ruin his little tiny bit of space and time, his heaven, okay, into the ground, man, and he has did it. Okay, let's see. What does it say? Isaiah 24 and 5. I'm gonna read down Isaiah 24. Give me a second. Yeah, because it's not for you, it's for me. He's a Jew. It's Isaiah 24:5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Right? And what many people did that? Esau, Edom. All right. Just like this Jewish guy, his girlfriend dragged him off because they not but sisters anyways, you know. But he looked at the sign and he was appalled, right? He doesn't have any history. Okay. He couldn't tell you the ancient customs of the Hebrew Israelites, okay? Because everything that they got is a theft, like it says in John 10:10. Okay, he came not but to steal, kill, and destroy. All right, and that's Edom, right? And that's what he is. He's an Edomite. All right, the Jewish people are Edomites. Okay, they're not Israelites. Okay, it's a difference. They are Hebrews, but they're Edomites. Okay, let's read down some more. They changed the laws and everything, man. I was just listening to something while coming over here by Elder Apostle Tahar, not Tahar, but Gabar, right? And it was going into, if I can remember the word, I think it was convincing Jews, something to that effect. But these are the Jews that make these laws that's profane, okay? And they have women on the board with them. So what do we say to that, man? It's not scriptural. That's what we say to it. All right. You got these people on the sign, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Israelites. The small remnant out of them are doing what is prescribed through the Bible. Just like I'm standing out here, okay, with the two names attached in one piece of wood. Okay. I never seen them gutter rats over there do that. And they won't, okay, because they don't follow the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. They have wrote their own book called the Talmud, and that doesn't make any sense. Okay, but let's go on. It's Isaiah 24:6. It says, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. All right, and you can get that with was the least of them should draw them out. Okay, when you attach that least of them should draw them out. Well, that verse right there, verse 6, is talking about some type of war that's going to happen that's going to get the earth burned. And we know what war that is. It's the Third World War. Okay. They keep on turning the anthill into a molehill with the Iranian people. All right. And just Ishmael in general. Don't even have to be Iranian. Just Ishmael. Okay. Why? Because they want their resources from underneath them. Okay. That would be oil, uranium, all type of minerals. Okay. And these people are they're hell bent on doing whatever they please. Give me a second. Yeah, man. But it's going to get to it. All right. Sooner or later, what's going to happen is the powder keg is going to burst in the western part of Asia. Okay, which they call it the Middle East, but we know that it's the western part of Asia. All right. So things are heating up in the Levant region over there. But let me get some more scriptures out here. All right. Let me get this real quick. Ecclesiastes 39:1, it says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy." Right? So it's very important to stay occupied in prophecy and learn about the gospel as well. All right. But the mystery of the gospel, okay, is who, you know, the apostles were talking to, man. Okay. And what their job was. All right. The Great Commission, they were sent to talk to the sent away Israelites. All right. Not talk to heathens, all the above, man. All right. There's no way to get that understanding unless the spirit is dwelling with you. Okay. It can't be taught because it's something that you have to see through, okay, and not just have a thought of it, but you have to see through it to the end. All right, it's key scriptures that go with that prevalent point. Okay, who are the Israelites scattered abroad? All right, and we know that Israel is in every nation because of the diaspora. All right, Hellenization that happened during the Greek captivity. Okay, the diaspora that happened through the Roman captivity, or not even captivity, but we're in captivity in the second leg of Rome. But in the first leg of Rome, we was just uh how do you call that? Tributaries onto Rome. Okay, we still had our God, but we just had to pay taxes to Rome. All right, but in this captivity, they stripped us of that. Okay, we're no longer allowed to worship. All right, Yahweh Shai. This is the turnaround point right here, man. Okay, where we're starting to get back to that. All right, let me get this. Go to Revelation 6, because that's where we are right now. In Revelation 6, Second Ezra 15 and 16, Jeremiah 50 and 51. It's just all manner. It's going down, man. Prophecies just popping off, man. Okay, Isaiah the 19th chapter. Might touch on a little of that, but let me just get this real quick, and then I'll start reading some prophecies off. Here, I say it every week. The second Ezra is 8 and 61. He said, "And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee." Then answered I and said, Behold, O Lord, now that hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do the last times, but at what time thou hast not showed me. Right? So this is how we've been taught. We've been taught this way, all right, to do this. Says second Ezra and 9, he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay? And definitely he's on that path, man. Okay, come to visit this place in a major way. All right. Because of the down government, all right, what you have now is a manufactured famine, all right, rearing its head up, and rightfully so, because of the pride of this fucking place, man. Okay, so the Lord is doing everything in his powers, which He is the power, all right, to deflate this kingdom, man. Okay, and it's coming fast, man. It's coming to a point where people are trying to live out uh, their lives on fumes, on things that can't happen. All right, no longer. It's even gotten to the point of, we'll go into it, but men are about to see they're not going to be able to move freely around, so on and so forth. But let me get to Revelations, the sixth chapter, real quick. Start there. It's high time that people wake out of sleep, man. This is not going to be good. This is not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be easy. But hey, it's a certain manner of men that's out here to do the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, no matter what. Lord's well, I hope we stay in this good graces, keep on absorbing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from him. It's Revelation 6:1. And it says, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. Right? And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Right? And that's Yahweh. That's what he's getting ready to do. That's what the warning in the scriptures are saying. That man that's coming back to subdue heaven, so to speak, is Yahweh man. Okay, meaning taking it from the people that's in rulership right now. Okay, verse 3, it says the second seal war, right? And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, right? And that beast, okay, that red horse is Esau Edom, all right? That was the blessing that was given to him, the sword, right? Let's get this real quick. This Lord, the Lord is moving fast, man. He's not slow, wrath, man. And a lot of people gonna find that out, man. There's a bunch of silly people here, Earth, man. Get some this Revelation 6:4, okay? And it said, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red parted for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. All right. And his name Edom goes back to Ashashrawan, right? He that is wasted away. Okay. Because when he came out, his blood was red. Not his blood, but his look was red. Blood shot forth through his flesh. All right. He was translucent because he didn't have any melanin. If you search the scriptures out, he's the only one that is described, okay, during the birth of Jacob. Okay, they described Esau down to a T because he was the first one on the earth that came out a clean leper. So, okay, this Exodus 15:1. It says, uh, saying, then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider have been thrown into the sea. Right? But that's what's getting ready to happen to Esau Edom. Okay. But let me go on, then I'll come back to that. Verse 5, it says, And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, right? So when you go back to the pair of balances, see if I, it's Deuteronomy 28 and 48 to 49 says, Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Right? So we go into that word balances. Let's go back to Revelation 6, 5. Give me a second. Bear with me. Go there. See what that is. That correlates with what I just read. It says 218 Zugos. Zygos. Zygos. Okay. Zugos. Right? It's a yoke. A yoke that is put on drought cattle. Used of any burden or bondage. That's why I read 28. We're on 28. Right? That scripture there because that's what we are. All right. We're in bondage. So that pale horse is bringing that balance of bondage, okay, back this way. All right. So it's getting ready to be tough times. Thus said scriptures, man. Revelation 6. People are still in their mode of folly, man. So the Lord's going to do something horrible to everybody that's not privy to his word going forth. Okay. It says, And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right? So what's getting ready to happen is we're already dead, man. Gross inflation, all right? Because just like in ancient Rome, all right, the denarius was uh was the currency, but then it was a precious metal. It was silver. And then after, they started to have economic woes, what they started doing is putting impurities in the denarius and it started devaluing it. Okay. But that's the first thing that you're seeing happen right now in Babylon the Great here, which is America, right? That currency is getting devalued, and before long, right, what's going to happen is it's not going to be any wealth here. And it's all we already did. If you're thinking about Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that, and fucking the holidays itself, it's not going to happen this year, man. Okay, this cruel Lord, he's draining this place. We know who that is. Okay, it's not going to come to nobody's aid. This business that he got going on. Okay, with these tariffs and all that, it's just a bunch of uh talk, man. That's going to lead to nothing. All right. Well, I'll read that in Isaiah the 19th chapter. Okay, but going into let me go into 6. I'm going to read some of these words here. See what a measure is. So that word measure is coinage. Okay, it says a dry measure containing four tiles or two satiri, less than 1 quart, 1 liter, or as much as would support a man of moderate appetite for a day. So we run into that. That's why I was saying, along with this EBT situation happening, right? The scarcityness of jobs. That's why this chapter goes along with Isaiah the 19th chapter. Okay. Um, I think I was seeing reports of, you know, the job market not ever bouncing back, man. Okay. Now they saying that recruiters, people that work for like LinkedIn, Indeed.com, those type of people, those people are losing their jobs now. That's proof that there is no more jobs. Okay. We'll get in Isaiah 19. Just give me a second to finish up with Revelation 6. Okay. But it's all happening. That verse 6 goes into shrinkflation, uh, the devaluing of money. Okay. So it's happening right now. And all these people are none the wiser, man. Why? Because they can't hear the words of prophecy. They don't understand. All right. Let me get this real quick. Shalak. We know what's clogging up their brains, man. All right. We already know what it is. It's Isaiah 14 and 11. It says, the pump is brought down to the grave with the noise of the louds. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Right? It's talking about this place. All right. Babylon the Great. Okay. And this man's kingdom, right? When you read Isaiah 14 and 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, right? Because of that pride, man. That pride got him. Adam, right? You can't even feel the power from this guy. And then to shoot themselves in the foot, they elected DJ Trump, you know, and now the cat's out the bag how weak and sorrowful America is. They keep on going over here to these islands off the coast of Venezuela and doing what? All manner of wickedness, just killing people, man, without no proof. All right. This dude, Donald J. Trump, he doesn't believe in due process, man. You don't get a chance to speak what's good with you. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a chance to rebuttal the accusations that's been put against them. Okay. Those people that they're killing in those fishing vessels, man. Those are not smuggling boats, man. And them shits are too slow. Okay. And smuggling doesn't go up like that anymore. Anyways, all right. You got legit companies pushing this fentanyl and cocaine all over the place. I remember one point in time, didn't they catch a dang vessel owned by Chase, okay, with a boatload of coke in it, man, and nobody never answered to that, okay. A shipping vessel that was owned by Chase. Let me see if I can get that article. Why come that vessel didn't get blown up? Yep, July 10th, 2019. It says cargo ship owned by J.P. Morgan Chase seized by U.S. with 20 tons of cocaine. Right here. So why come this vessel ain't been blown up? You see, absolute devils, man. And we here to tell you, man, that these people they out to get them resources over there in Venezuela, man. And all you Venezuelans that's confused, man. All right, it's propaganda. That's what they're doing to you people. They're brainwashing you, thinking that this dude Maduro is running the country, where it's fractions of people that live in that country that's getting paid by the U.S. to do these foul things, man. Okay, be corrupt and try to stain the ruler Maduro's name, man. All right, maybe they've been offered a piece of the pie if they can get that coup going over there. All right, they need somebody from the inside to attack Maduro because they can't get in there. All right, but this is why they have the standoff right now in the Gulf, okay, of Mexico. All right, in the Gulf of Mexico right now because they can't get their hands on it. This how vile the so-called white man is, which is Esau Edom. Okay, we're going to go on more Revelation 6, man. You know, the nerve, man. These people are hypocrites, man. They just to the bone. Now you understand why they must be destroyed, man. Thus said the Holy Scriptures. Okay, they must be Obadiah 18 out of the nation, man, out of the world, out of the table of nations. Okay, that's what I meant to say. Going back to verse 7, it says, Revelation 6 and 7, it says, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. Right? And that's what we getting ready to see. But you see some real slaughtering going on up here. Okay, let's get to it. All right, it's Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 17. Okay, explain what some of these creatures and the judgments that's coming forth here. All right, on the face of the earth. No time to play anymore, man. I feel invigorated. All right, just being a part of the know, man, and that's in the scriptures itself. Okay, we'll get to it. God's will, you know. Let me see some. That ain't what I want. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it. 17. All right. Lucky brothers. And Hawk walking. Wisdom of Solomon. I was in the 17th chapter. That's good. I have to look it up. But this Wisdom of Solomon 17, I mean 11 and 17. It says, "For the Almighty hand that made the world of matter without form wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fish, lions, or unknown wild beasts full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or a filthy scent of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparks out of their eyes, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroying them." All right, so that's what's been ready to happen here. Right? You're going to start seeing uh, things that you thought you was never going to see. Like up top here, it says apparitions. It's one of the things. It says, I'll start from 12. It says, "For a double grief came upon them, and a groaning from the remembrance of things past. But when they heard by their own punishment the other to be benefited, they had some feeling of the Lord. But when they respected with scorn, when he was long before thrown out at the casting forth of the infants, him in the end, when they saw what came to pass, they admired. But for the foolish devices of their wickedness, wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents void of reason and vile beasts. They did send a multitude of unreasonable beasts upon them for vengeance, right? That they might know that wherewithal a man sinneth, by the same also shall he be punished." So that's to our people, okay? You go off, you start worshiping these other gods, you start doing profane things. Well, then the punishment comes, all right? You're going to suffer these fates by death. You know, the second Esdras even says the same thing, you know? Let's get that in the NLT real quick. I want to read that over. Make it easier to understand for me and you. There's mercy in everything now. This is same chapter again. Let's start from 12. I went into that. It said, "Their sorrow was double. They groaned as they looked back at what had happened. When they learned that their punishment had been of benefit to your people, they realized that it was your work, Lord. The Egyptian had refused to have anything to do with the men who long before, as a baby, had been thrown out and exposed. But as things worked out, they came to be amazed at him. The righteous never suffered a thirst like this." Right? And we're talking about Moses. It says their wickedness misled them into silly ideas, so that they worship snakes and other disgusting animals, creatures without any powers of reason. Because of this, he punished them with millions of such animals. right? So the Lord is getting ready to get busy. This is what he do to prideful people and people that do idolatry. All right. It says, and taught them that the punishment for a sin takes the same form as the sin itself. Your almighty power, Lord, created the world out of material that had no form at all. You could easily have punished those people by sending an invasion of bears or savage lions. You could have created new and terrible animals that could breathe fire or roar and send out clouds of smoke or shoot out fearful sparks from their eyes. You could have made animals like these that would not have to attack those people to kill them, but could scare them to death just by looking at them. Okay? It says, but this was not necessary. You could have pursued them with your justice to struck them dead at the slightest hint of your power, but you have chosen to measure, count, and weigh everything you do. Right? And that's why in Revelation 6 chapter, that's why he's getting ready to tip the scales, so to speak, in the manner that he's doing right now. All right. He's going to show you better than he can tell you. Okay. And that's coming down the pipe right now. Uh, Going back to Revelation 6. I think I was at 8, verse 8. It says, and when he had opened the fifth seal, this verse 9 of Revelation 6, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God before the testimony which they held, right? That's going into what John saw, all right? You know, in the, was it, versus that testimony? I think it's Revelation 14. Just looking it up, man. I'm the only one here that does so stiffly. That's what it is. Second address. Second address 2 and 47. That says, so he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to command them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Right. So it's going to be men that's going to be beheaded, man. And I think the border, not the border, but the head to this exact verse 8. Yeah, it's death. All right. So that's going to be the death of the men that's prophesying out here on the streets, doing videos day in day out to understand the words of the Bible. All right, in its fullness. Okay, the 100% truth, so to speak. All right. The ninth verse is going into martyrs. That's what the end of 8 was. Verse 9. That's what the end of verse 9 was. 8 is the death that's coming. All right. 9 is the martyr of the saints. Okay. Verse 10, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? right? So these men, they're gonna cry out at heaven, all right? That's what it says in the scriptures. It says, they shall go before the king and cry out day and night for the abominations that are done upon the earth thereof. I believe that's a rough quote of it, but I'm gonna go on. All right, so that's what's gonna happen. All right, when the spirits get up there, they're gonna cry out to the Lord day and night about the abominations that continuing on in this place, bringing down this place even faster. All right. Says, and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Right? Now, there's going to be a lot of martyrs, all right? But this is where the Lord wants it to play out, right? Because you got that scripture where it says, and they shall touch the apple of his eye. Let's get that. Zechariah 2 and 8, right? This is the AMP version. It says, for thus said the Lord of hosts, after glory he has sent me against the nations which plundered you. For he touches you, touches the apple of his eye, right? So that comes into Daniel, the 12th chapter, all right? But it's all about this place going down, man. Okay, let's get that too. I want to read that. But then Daniel's 12 and 1. It said, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, Salaki, the great prince, was standing for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book, right? So when they touch the apple of the Lord's eye, then things are going to get really active there, okay? Things are happening now through the spirit. It's only happening because the way that the elder apostles taught us to bring out the scriptures. Right? What they say, looking at that, it's Matthew 24:14. It said, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Right? And that's what you're seeing. Just like I was breaking down Revelation 6, break down Obadiah. Any of these scriptures that get broken down correctly is one more nail in the coffin for Esau Edom in the spirit. Okay. and it's physically happening. Okay, what does the scripture say? The scripture say this too. All right. Uh, trying to think of it in my head. Let's face it. Let's save it. He might have patience in there. Yeah. This weirdo stuff. In 2 Corinthians 10:4. Right. I go up. But this is what's going on. This is 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that's what we do out here. Okay, when you push this truth, that's the whole crux of the matter, so to speak. All right, we gotta exhort Yahweh Shai, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for gathering the hopeful elect and pulling them all together slowly but surely, man. All right, it's so much so that we almost see the end at the front door right now. Okay, no ifs and buts about it. Right, you got all type of conflicts still going on over there in Ukraine. I just found out today that Putin's kidnapping those the freshly new Caribbean people that just went through the storm, man. Okay, he's promising them great jobs and you know them the opportunity to gain wealth abroad and send it back to their country so they can build homes and everything else again. But little do they know when they get there, they're going on the front line. All right. So all these people are devils, man. Ain't nobody fair here. Everybody's doing the same wickedness, man. Go back. This is the only end result for Esau, Edom, man. Right? To be put out of the earth, man. Let's get it. So ultimately, Revelation 6, we ain't got nothing to worry about. But when it gets too great of a matter, then Daniel 12 and 1 to kick in. All right. But we just gotta hold on, man. Hold on. It's getting ready to rain here. Let's see. Go ahead to Obadiah. Grab a couple of scriptures, man. Get out of here before it starts coming down hard. Obadiah 1 and 18. I'll start at Obadiah 1 and 15. I'll start there. All right. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Right? Talking to Edom. Okay. Because you made all these nations get drunk and then they uncovered themselves. And then you stood back and took advantage. All right. That's why the nations are mad now. All right. Nobody's with Edom anymore. Everybody's against Edom. All right. It's slowly but surely happening. Okay. It says, but as ye have drunken upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. right? So anybody that touched us, okay, anybody that took advantage of our inheritance by namesake, okay, we know who we talking to there. Talking about the tiny hatters, okay, and then the people that made deals in Psalms uh, 83. All right, you people are going into a tailspin right now, right? You're not hurting Israel. We were already at the bottom, but what's going to hurt now is the decline of your nation and your economic uh, gain. That's what's going to hurt all the nations that put their hands to the nation of Israel. Okay, verse 17 says, "But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions." Right. So we getting back what was due to us. All right. After this final captivity, it's going to be just like when we exodus from Egypt, man. Okay. And nobody's never going to take it back again, and we're gonna be in our place. All right, like the scriptures say. All right. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. All right. The two nations, northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right. Be a flame, and a house of Esau for stubble. Right. It's going to be in ruins. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and they shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Right. So what's going to happen to Edom? Edom is going into slavery, man. That said the scriptures, right? But once you start consuming that nation, that means that they're going to be underneath the thumb of the nation of Israel, okay, Jacob, okay, which is the nation of Israel. All right, they never gonna rise out of that ever again, man. Okay, keep on going down. And you'll even tell you, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain, the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Galilee. All right, these are all the places that was promised to us through the birthright. All right, through the what's that? The promise to Abraham. Okay, it said, "And the captivity of the host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto the Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Saphard, shall possess the cities of the south. The Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mountain Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's." Right? So that's cut and dry right there. Right? And those people are the hopeful elect. Right? 144,000 men that's going to rule with the Lord. Right? We're going to be the holy government on the face of the earth. Right? We love to be the underdog, and we winning, man. Right? Esau getting ready to lose. He already lost. Okay, he lost just being born. You know, but hey, I hope that was edifying, to say the least. I want to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hawashai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, beneath the standard and the banner of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.